221054. Do not share your code with anyone.
Just shared it with everyone.
221054. Do not share your code with anyone.
Is it one of those codes that expires in 10 minutes?
Yeah.
I see. You can shout it out.
Here we are, Abe. Cast Iron Balls, a podcast about sports. Specifically, watching Fernando Mendoza throw pick sixes. My name is Bob, sitting across the way from my good friend and co-host. That's Abe. How you doing tonight, Abe?
Doing well, Bob.
Yeah, here we are. Lori's here too. How you doing tonight, Lori?
I mean, game recognized fame.
The worst shirt makes its return. Tonight is Wednesday, August 26th, 2026, 8/26/26.
Oh, yeah?
Did you watch any preseason football yet, Abe? Are you getting into the spirit of the season?
I caught brief glimpses of the Colts playing poorly, but I have not kept up with it now.
I caught brief glimpses of Fernando Mendoza playing poorly, and it made my night.
I like the preseason games because it feels like we're seeing all our friends.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I remember
I
you.
just watched those guys play last year.
Or
Now
people we don't care for performing
or that.
poorly.
Friends can mean many things.
Abe, this is Cast Iron Balls,
Yes.
which means it is imperative that you live bet the games.
Here we go.
This is...
Are we betting on Little League World Series?
I don't think you can. I don't think that is allowable.
With that attitude.
You can bet on war. You can't bet on the Little League?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I guess I could go on Kalshi and probably figure out how to do that.
Yeah,
Should I see if there's Little League action over at Kalshi?
It probably is, right?
You cannot bet on the Little League World Series on Kalshi, as the platform does not list prediction markets for youth sports.
Yeah, it doesn't list it. Doesn't mean you can't bet on it.
Yeah, we could go out and find somebody to take our action, no
It's
doubt.
you.
That's right.
You could bet Abe.
Since the Little League World Series is not available to us to bet, I will instead pivot to a game happening later this evening. We've got the, let's see here. We got the Twins on the road against the Athletics. Twins.
They're the homeless Athletics, right?
Yeah, for now. Not yet in Vegas. Twins are -1.5. Money line -130. Athletics at home +122 at home. Who you got, Abe?
Athletics at a home, not at home. I'm going to go with the Nomads. I'll go with the A's.
Culpepper to second, Larnick to third, and the lifeline is Luke Keeshall. 2-2 pitch. Check swing. Good night.
That's what
Alvarado closes the door and gets his fifth save, and the A's win the series with a 7-4 victory.
A's at home, just the money line, I take it, right?
Yes, of course.
Not like a coward. $5 bet to win, $6.10. We will keep track of that as the season goes on. It's our first Cast Iron Balls. This is season 3 of Cast Iron Balls. I don't know if anybody else is counting, but this marks season 3 of Cast Iron Balls. A special treat for season 3. We're going to do a second live bet. Abe,
Nice.
I'm going to pull up the NCAA football futures,
Okay.
and you are going to bet on which team is going to win the national title game
Don't
this
do
year.
it.
This is an easy one.
Don't do
It's
it.
a $5 bet.
It is an easy. I mean, this may be. I think they're front runners or among them. You know, last year they
Texas.
took great
Oregon.
umbrage at being kept out of the playoffs. The Fighting Irish
Yeah.
of Notre Dame. This is their year.
So we've got Ohio State as the favorite at +550. Notre Dame in second at +600.
Right. And
The
like,
remaining teams that are under +1,000. Can you guess who they are? There are 1, 2, 3, 4 more teams who have less than
I mean, I would
+1,000
imagine-
odds.
I can guess it.
I mean, I would imagine Georgia's in there.
Correct.
Ohio State.
They're number 1.
Oh, I'm sorry. You already said Ohio State. Oh, so it's Ohio State, Notre Dame. There's no way. Is Texas in there?
Texas is in there.
And
2 more.
the Ducks.
You would just.
Yep,
Yeah.
Oregon.
And then,
Easy one. Defending champs.
oh, the Hoosiers.
That's right.
Okay.
Indiana.
With
Right. Notre Dame though, plus 600, a $5 bet will net me $30
Look at
sometime at the end of January.
start spending the money now.
I can't wait. All right, we will keep track of that as the season goes on. Perhaps adjusting things. As of now, it's just a $5 live bet that we'll keep track of. I don't know what else we could do with that. It's a fun segment because I get to edit you being wrong in almost immediately afterwards.
It's a new year.
All right. This is going to be a fairly quick cast iron balls because there aren't very many fun games to talk about. What, Lori?
There's so much news.
Yeah, there's a bunch of news. This is why the next segment is going to be the bulk of the show. I imagine it's WGAS News Sports Bag Edition. Who gives a shit news? Sports. First and foremost, because our audience consists primarily of 11 to 13-year-old children, and I know this matters to them, the Pro Bowl no longer
That's
exists.
right.
Abe.
The
it
right
was only
move,
a matter
right?
of time.
There was really no reason to play it. The designation is what mattered, and actually holding the game diluted the designation because, like, inevitably somebody would be injured or they would be in a playoff run, and so they would need alternates, and they would get credit. Like they're like the 5th best quarterback, but because like 2 better quarterbacks ahead of you are busy or injured.
Does it matter that they get credit though? Because I imagine the only people to whom it matters allegedly is the agents when they go to renegotiate the contract, and it says, "Hey, my client was an All-Pro.
Right.
He deserves an extra $0.75, $750,000 extra this year, or what have you."
Right.
But then everybody, come on.
But anytime they do a recap of someone's career, they rattle off different things, and they always include how many times they were Pro Bowl.
Yeah, it's sad.
And so now going forward, you'll have a more accurate representation of who actually was a Pro Bowler that year without.
Now, is there a difference between a Pro Bowler and an All-Pro, right? Because there is, right? Like you would hear All-Pro.
Right. I think All-Pro is probably like more rigorous than the Pro Bowl designation.
Right, because if you're first team All-Pro in your league, in your conference,
Right.
then you're the best right guard in your conference.
Because basically
right?
they're making a fantasy team out of the conference, right? Like, so this is like the best quarterback, the best receiver, the best da-da-da-da. So yeah.
So are they going to build 50-man Pro Bowl rosters, or can we just move to an All-Pro type system and name the best 2 or something at each position?
That's a good question. I assume they're going to use the same format they have in the past. So they're getting rid of like no gimmick weekend. There's no
no gimmick weekend.
Calvin loved the
I
gimmick
love
weekend.
Gimmick weekend.
Yeah, well, why not do that? Because we
I
still
think the lesson here is that if the Manning brothers couldn't turn it into a success, then really nobody can.
I feel like we're not measuring success correctly.
Ratings and the ability
No.
to sell ads
No.
against those ratings. That's how they measure
that's a
success.
bad way to measure success. Was everyone involved having fun?
Right,
I
basically,
bet they were.
Yeah, and if you didn't care, you didn't watch it, it didn't hurt anybody. Now, I will say, though, the week gap, right, between the conference title weekend and the Super Bowl still exists. Are they going to fill that void with something? Or like,
Do they need to? Is it actually a void?
Like...
Should we just play the football national championship game that weekend? Should we just push the college football season all the way back into the deep into spring semester?
I mean, it would be like February, because this year the Super Bowl's like Valentine's Day. It's like mid-February, which is usually when it is. So yeah, like you couldn't push the college football national title game 2 weeks because it's like already the 25th or 26th this year.
I don't know. You want to have a 24 or a 48 team playoff? You might have to.
You may, eventually. But yeah, maybe they'll leave it be, But they always want to keep people occupied. Somehow.
I have some answers here to our questions. In place of the games, Pro Bowlers will be invited to Los Angeles for an in-person celebration in February. The process of selecting Pro Bowlers will remain the same. Ballots cast by fans, players, and coaches are weighted equally to determine the selections of the 88 players on offense, defense, and special teams across both conferences. So,
there you go.
The 88th best. What an
That's
honor.
true.
It's out of how many? It's good.
Realistically, out of 22 starters per team is the
I can't
number
do that
should
kind of
matter.
math.
Right.
Anyway, I don't think nobody's going to miss it, right?
Do you
Nobody
think
cares.
do you think others will follow suit? Nobody really watches the dunk contest in the NBA. I think baseball's still going to be around because that's at least, they got the home run derby, so that's not going to go away. I don't know what with hockey what they would do, but I wonder if there's going to be a domino effect where other leagues do similar things. Like why are we bothering with the All-Star weekend?
Yeah. I don't know that I was ever excited about the Pro Bowl. So
No,
I just have
nobody
no
was
emotional
excited.
attachment to it whatsoever. I don't think it matters at all.
It was fun though.
I mean, the thing that was fun was the skills competitions
Yeah.
and stuff, but the rest of it, who cares?
I kind of liked watching back before when they would do it before the Super Bowl, or would they do it after? What was it? When we were kids.
They would do it the week after the Super Bowl
Yeah,
when we were kids.
I liked watching them line up for the extra point and nobody try at all. Like they would kind of get into that stance,
Yeah.
but they just kind of lean over,
Right.
and then the ball would get hiked.
Yeah, it's
The
been a
ball
minute.
would happen.
Been a minute since you watched a football game, I
And
guess.
I just don't know the words. And everyone would just stand up
Right.
straight.
They're-
Like no one's doing anything. I love that.
They will have occasion to meet, right? So they're going to be in LA anyways. Don't they have that NFL honor or some goofy awards like the night before or the week before the Super Bowl? Don't they usually do something? So why not use that occasion to still have some gimmick to entertain the at least the people that are attending, the fans.
All right. The SEC has followed the Big Ten in creating a rule that says that if you have signed a professional contract and or made yourself eligible to be drafted and then not withdrawn yourself before the relevant deadline, you cannot return to play college football.
This is an anti-pro player.
A missed opportunity for all of these conferences to open with, I can't believe we have to come out and say this, but, and then
Right.
the rest.
Is there anyone besides Lance Kiffin who thinks that this isn't the right thing to do?
Is there, I saw two different reports. One was that it was a unanimous vote by the SEC teams, and then a second one where LSU abstained.
Right, so this is from The Athletic. SEC presidents approved stiff penalties to deter schools from signing players with pro experience, with one notable school, LSU, sitting out. LSU abstained from Wednesday's vote on penalties, a source familiar with the vote confirmed on condition of anonymity because they weren't authorized to speak publicly. That came a day after the school was part of a unanimous 16-0 vote to enforce rules against fielding athletes who dropped out of pro leagues. So they voted for the creation of the rule. They voted against.
Oh, this is a John Kerry moment. I voted for
Right.
it.
They voted against penalties to enforce that rule.
Is there some sort of legal reason, like they need to not weigh in because there's going to be some litigation coming soon, or like?
I mean, I imagine this is all going to be wrapped up in court since they they recruited two, I think,
Right.
and had brought one in.
Right.
Somebody who was drafted by the Browns and then decided that he could make more money playing in college this year
Yeah.
than being on a practice squad or whatever.
Right.
And he was an Ole Miss guy last year.
Right. Yeah. Now, what's interesting is, I guess you need three teams. So you have LSU, and you have Texas Tech. I'm trying to do an axis of evil comp. Iran, Iraq, and North Korea. Like, there's a third team that needs to be involved because, Texas Tech is also this renegade kind of school where they're like, fuck the rules.
It's Ohio State. If you need an evil team, it's Ohio State. They haven't done anything, but it's them.
Just throw them in if you need it. But those two schools seem to be like, we're just trying to win at any cost.
Well, Alabama signed the NBA guy, right?
That's true.
That's
they
true.
did.
Yeah.
So let's not include them in the evil empire.
But I think LSU and Texas Tech are above those kind of misdeeds. Like they for whatever reason, they're going all out. They're not pulling back after all of this. Like, I mean, this is all recent developments, right? This is like today is the SEC, the Big Ten was maybe yesterday. Like, all this is happening very fast, and there's punishment, right? It's like 50. Like, you're gonna.
The punishments are great. Coach suspended for half the season, a fine of 50% of that fiscal year's operating budget for that sport. Like, I mean, and we're talking, that's tens of millions of dollars for these major programs.
Right. Now,
the school's loss of voting privileges on conference business matters, and the kicker, the best punishment, any additional penalties the commissioner and presidents deem appropriate. Whatever we say.
Now, speaking of the third team, the North Korea here could be Notre Dame, right? Like, if Notre Dame does not belong to anything, right?
No, but
Nobody's
Notre
gonna
Dame
enforce
is
any rules.
so holier than thou.
They have a code of ethics. These are Catholics.
Oh.
Be serious.
They won't be them.
They won't be them. Okay.
We've got cool American Pope. We've got Marcus Freeman.
Think they're going great.
All good Catholics. They would do no such
JD
thing.
Vance, yeah, I think they're going great. You think it's overkill, the half of suspending you?
No, they just need to make it so that it is something that is not going to happen.
Yeah,
And
because
they-
like if it's too little,
Right.
then it'll be like, fuck it, I'll be suspended for a game. Who
Right.
cares?
you just can't have. I mean, I don't even know why it's like you said, a missed opportunity to say, I can't believe we have to say this.
Yeah.
But like seriously, if you are going to be a collegiate athlete, you are an amateur.
Right.
I know that we have moved in the direction of semi-professionalizing the sports of football and basketball at the very least. But we can't be in a situation where they're permitted to just go play professional sports.
Right.
I mean,
Although-
because what is stopping them from, like Matt Stafford, for example, coming
Right.
back and playing another season at Georgia or anywhere else that he
Right.
wants to go? And
The argument there is the thing where the NCAA just decided that you have 5 years to play 5 years, and that only applies to the kids who started in 2023.
Right.
So, like, there are a handful of players who left college last year,
Right.
having no alternative, went to the NFL draft,
Right.
whatever. There is an argument
Right.
that, like, if they had known,
Right.
they wouldn't have done that.
Right.
And that sucks for them.
Right, and that's why I think
But, like,
they're
sometimes stuff sucks for
Right,
you.
but I think there's going to be some sort of like lawsuit to kind of sort that out for those specific players. Because you're right, basically this reality materialized after the fact. Like, this was not an option, and now it is.
Yeah.
But like, going forward, this is not. We're not going to find ourselves in this position. Is that the case? Like, because this was a weird situation where this 5 for 5 or 5 within 5 thing came about after the fact, after the college football season ended. So next year, there's no surprise.
Next year, that class of people
Right.
won't have the excuse
Right,
of,
exactly, yeah, that's what I
this
mean.
was allowed, but
Right.
it isn't for me
Right.
because of bad timing.
Right. So
But that's why they have to get out in front of
Right, but-
the rule at all.
But with that in mind, why is LSU being so greedy about it? This is like you're not gonna win the title because of this kid, right? Like, so it's like, why are you tarnishing whatever reputation you have within the conference over? It's not like, you know, the second coming of like Herschel Walker. Like, it's just some guy, right? And so like,
Yeah.
And this is a one-off, a 1 year kind of situation.
what makes you think Lance Kiffin has any concern about his like what reputation
is-
are you talking
that
about?
Yeah,
It's a good
he
You
likes
think
to
Bobby
do shit
Petrino?
like this.
Bobby Petrino is real worried about what folks are going to think after he dumps another blonde off the back of his motorcycle.
Is it good to have like these like morally bankrupt, like, and proud of it coaches like in college football, where they're not like sheepish
Yes?
about it? Is this
That's a weird question.
Well, but, like,
no,
to-
but yes.
to that point, are we clutching at pearls here? Is the NCAA or the SEC and the Big Ten specifically creating a rule set that is functionally from a different time and of a different century? Are we delaying the inevitable here? What does college football look like in 20 years if not fully semi-professionalized, but if not like because half of me fully expects 20 years from now that these athletic departments will be at best sort of like the umbilical cord that attaches Butts-Mehre to North Campus is going to be cut at some point, right? And that's for the non-Georgia folks in the audience.
Yeah, that's a lot of words.
Butts-Mehre is where the athletic department resides, and North Campus is where the president lives. But the relationship between those two institutions is at this point like fraternal at best.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Like they are completely independent of one another. And the only thing that and part of the reason that that's allowed is that the amount of money that the football and basketball programs bring in supports the entire rest of the athletic endeavors, which are otherwise cost sinks.
Right.
So.
No, that's true. I mean, and you already have schools hire GMs, which was not a position that existed in the past. You're going to have basically like the equivalent of a front office apparatus in college football, to where you'll have like a staff that does, and the relationship between the school and the athletic program will just be like almost kind of superficial. It's just going to be like a legacy tie to the school. It's like the sports team is affiliated with the school.
At that point, the athletic departments are licensing the branding from the university, like that's all it is. It's like a licensing deal for this separate corporation, which actually makes money instead of spending.
Will we ever get to a point where a major program, like 20 years down the road, like it ceases to be like a campus type of university? It's like an online school, but it still has the prestige and the name from yesteryear?
I mean, I still think that college matters. I still think that the classes matter. I read something a few weeks ago. I can't remember where or what it was about, but they were talking about that quote from Carson Beck, where he said he hasn't been.
I haven't gone to class in 2 years.
I haven't gone to class in 2 years. But if you play the rest of that clip, because that was the clip that went around is class. I don't go to class. I haven't been to class in 2 years. Right. The rest of the clip is him talking about taking online school because he's a graduate student and working with the graduate program that he was in, so that like he still did like 6 hours of academic work every day, and like had to show up and like was taking the like video conference classes and stuff. Like the rest of that, because the way that was spread was, this is just an example of how these so-called college athletes don't actually do anything.
Like
another one came out recently. I think it was the Notre Dame quarterback talking about how he doesn't go to class, and it had the same reaction.
But the reason that they don't go to class is because it's like Arch Manning talks about it being functionally impossible to walk around campus, where he has to like put on pretend that he's listening to music or pretend that he's on the phone all of the time so that he can like make it from one classroom to another. These are not minor celebrities in the little universes that they live in on campus. It makes sense that they can't like go to Econ 101 that day. Right. So I don't know. At the same time that I fully expect there to be a more severed relationship between university and athletic department moving forward, and for the professionalization of the sport to continue unabated, I still think that the college aspect of it matters. Right. And the fact that these are like that is, it remains as silly as it is. That's what makes it fun for me. Right. Like the reason that I care more about the University of Georgia than I care about the New York Football Giants is not just because the Giants have sucked ass for the last decade.
It doesn't hurt.
Although that doesn't hurt. It's that I have no connection to the personal lives of the players for the New York Football Giants, right? Like they live in Jersey City or Hoboken in some high rise, and their lives are of no consequence to me whatsoever. I have no way of identifying with them. I used to deliver pizza to East Campus Village, to the athletic dorms. I used to regularly deliver to Matt Stafford and like the people who would hang out with him. Alex Wood, a former Georgia Bulldog and a long time, he was a Braves and Dodgers pitcher. Like I delivered that guy pizza. Right. I met Gordon Beckham delivering pizza. Like my emotional attachment to these teams has as much to do with the fact that like I have walked in their shoes and hung out in their neighborhoods. And that's what makes it fun. The idea that these guys are living lives that I more or less, a life that I more or less lived for
between 4 and 14 years, depending on how you do the math.
But you know that is a good point. I wonder if the experience is the same for like a delivery driver today, you know, with all these online courses and people do whatever. Like, who knows if they're out and about. To your point, like when I was delivering pizzas, I think I delivered to like Odell Thurman. I had class with David Pollack. Like, you know, like the people.
Right, I took a class. Who was the 1-year starter after Joe Cox? It was like 2009, 2010.
The loner from Virginia?
This is before Stafford?
I think it was a G.
Grayson Lambert?
Yeah, I took class with Grayson Lambert. I think Grayson Lambert. Does that timeline
I don't want to know
line
that.
up?
Yes, he transferred from UVA. I
think I took a poli-sci class with Grayson Lambert.
Jesus.
Or maybe it was somebody around 2010, 2011.
He was a 1-year starter. I mean, I'm sure that was
What
it.
a pull by Lori.
That sucks.
I think
hate
that's
that.
wrong. I don't think that that's correct, but I'd have to go back and check. But yeah, I took a poli-sci class with a Georgia quarterback.
Yeah.
He was in the breakout group that I was in. Like that's just fucking cool.
Yeah.
Like that's what makes this sort of romantic and fun.
Yeah.
Hudson Mason, Grayson
It was
Lambert.
Hudson Mason. It was Hudson Mason
Okay.
that I was in the class with. But yeah, same time period as Grayson.
And
Lambert,
with
I
all
think.
the changes over the last 5-6 years in college football, most people seem to enjoy the college football home games. You know, like where you go to the camp, you watch the game on campus. I don't know what it's like to actually be at the game during the winter, but like it's entertaining at home. So like,
Right.
I think that connection is important.
I think as long as I've liked college football, the thing I think I've liked most about it is that the players are younger
Right.
than in the NFL.
Yeah.
Because especially men are not done growing physically and mentally. So you're watching a bunch of idiots who are not quite at their prime.
Right.
And that's what makes it more fun. And if you're going to let
But-
25, 26-year-olds, what?
I was just going to say they are athletically at their prime, but that doesn't matter
They're not.
in terms of football. No, so they're not at their football prime. They don't know and understand. They're not smart enough yet to fully understand what they're supposed to be doing during the game. But they are athletic freak shows
Right.
But,
between the ages
yes,
of 17 and 23.
Sure, but
and so
those-
but that's what makes it fun is that they do this like wild and crazy shit that 27-year-old them wouldn't even imagine trying. Right, and
But
so
also
that's
it's
what truly
because-
makes the catch, Odell Beckham's catch for the Giants so spectacular is that he did something that nobody thought was a thing that you could actually do, and
Okay,
like it's in part
also-
because he was a young dummy.
they can all get bigger, most of them, maybe not all of them.
That is true,
But
yeah.
when these guys graduate college, when they're 21, 22, they're not at their physical prime yet. They're going to get bigger and stronger as they get older because men do that. They fill out in a way.
Right. I think we're talking past each other because I agree
I was not talking. I was just talking, and then you started talking as well.
They keep growing, but I'm saying that they're not necessarily ever going to be like limber and agile and athletic in the way that they are between 17 and 23.
I'm saying what I like is that they're not done developing physically or mentally.
Sure.
Okay, so that's what I said, and it's exactly what I meant. And if you have a bunch of 25, 26-year-olds, and who knows how old they could get.
There's no more primordial goo in the 27-year-old is the point that I'm
that's
saying.
not college football anymore. Even if you took the college part out of it, that's what makes it different from a minor league baseball team where you can have guys at the very beginning or very end of their career where they're like kind of developing or they're past their prime and they're just kind of writing out the baseball thing. Like that's fun in its own way, but I like that they're all young idiots and they're not quite what they're going to be. That's what makes it fun.
Lori likes the primordial goo of the 18 to 23-year-olds.
That's what I like watching football about.
Does this conversation that we're having therefore suggest that the inevitable thing that's coming is the Super League?
Yes.
That what will happen is there will be a stratification of the elite programs, whether that is as currently constituted the SEC and the Big Ten or some version of 40 to 50 to 60 teams that come together and break away from the NCAA governing structure to do their own thing.
I don't follow soccer outside of the World Cup, but a couple years ago there was an attempt by some greedy clubs to form a super league. Basically, like, well, let's just get the best of the best at the Premier League and the other leagues and do a super league, and we pool all the money and we get all the money, right? And there was such pushback against it because it would just ruin the fabric of like society for so many countries, like where this was the thing for so many years. And I think there is going to be a similar attempt with college football, and there's going to be a pushback. I don't know if that pushback will be strong enough to prevent it from happening, but it would ruin college football if you did like a super league. You can't take out.
Not if you did it right.
Does it ruin college football to not have Northwestern and Colorado State playing against Ohio State and USC or something every week?
Do you want college football to be a national sport or a local sport? Because here, like Georgia Tech, there's a relationship there. It doesn't matter how much Georgia Tech sucked in the past, right? There's a relationship there. Right. Same thing with these other rivalries that exist in state. It doesn't matter what happens.
Keep that.
I know, but like if you diverge and you basically get the best of the best. If Alabama gets pulled and they never play like some team that they always enjoy playing because they can make a little more money, like you're not gonna like. And maybe the SEC is not a good example of that. In other conferences, you're gonna have long-running traditions come to an end just for like one more nickel, like.
But that already happened with Notre Dame and USC.
Right. But what I'm saying is
that already happened with conference expansion.
Right. So,
like we get used to it. You could do a super league right. Like I could, if you give me a few hours, I would love to sit down and make a super league.
I maintain I don't want the super league. I hope that we don't end up there. I do at the moment feel like it's somewhat inevitable. My preference, I think still, is for 5 major conferences and limit them to 12 teams each and produce your national championship, your national champion from those 60 schools. Don't bother. Like, I don't fucking care. I'm sorry. I think Boise State is super cool, but I don't care that you don't actually compete for the national title if you're not in one of the Power 5 conferences. Like that's fine with me. Limit the pool of available schools who can compete for a national title to 60 or 72, something like that. And they can still all play each other. They can still all be under the banner of the NCAA. But like, let's be serious here. JMU or whoever that comes out of the G5, you're not winning a national title. And if you had to play a schedule that was commensurate with the difficulty of the schedule in even a lesser conference like the ACC or something, you would not be coming out unscathed anyway.
Right.
So like, we don't have to play patty cake with the bottom 60 or 80 schools or what have you. It seems like there's a better way.
Right. But my point is, college football, its strength is the pageantry, the student connection, and the matchups, right? I mean, as far as
right, and also to your point, right, the insanity of App State going to Michigan, right?
Exactly.
The insanity of the goofy upsets,
right? And so, like, I understand it from the point of view of the grubby schools wanting more money, but from like a fan point of view, I don't care that you're making more money. Like you have a healthy ecosystem. Why are you trying to ruin? I mean, maybe it'll be better, but like this is good enough. I don't know what's wrong with what we have.
I agree with you in terms of the status quo was better. Also, I don't think that we should have a 12-team playoff. I think I see no reason for it. So you're just making the argument that I was making 2 years ago.
No, a playoff is well warranted because you need to end on a high note. You don't want to like. Here's some bullshit Capital One Bowl and who cares? Like you want to build up to a crescendo. And, crown Mendoza.
The Athletic came out with a ranking of the tiers of the college football coaches. And I don't really want to go into the nitty-gritty on it. I just want to say that I think it is an absurdity that Curt Cignetti is considered
That's what everybody thinks now.
The number one coach in the country.
I mean, it is clear he's number one.
And his only peer in tier 1 of college football coaches is Kirby Smart.
Right. I mean,
Kirby Smart.
Yeah.
turned the University of Georgia from a perennial mediocrity into a powerhouse that is competing for the national title every year and won twice and had historically great teams for 3 straight years. And Kurt Signetti wins one fucking wins
They
2.
started
But
from
I
a
get-
lower.
like-
They were the
Well,
worst.
yeah, but they win 2 meaningful games over the course of 2 seasons, and now we're talking about how he's the best goddamn coach in the world.
He brought the fucking Hoosier football team to a national title,
They
undefeated.
were always a sleeping giant. They always had
They
all
were
this
not-
fucking money.
I never heard of that back in the day. Oh, there goes that when they were getting killed by like Wisconsin for like they sucked for a long time.
To whoever the AD is there, and to Signetti's credit, they took a massive pile of resources and turned it into great success, right? I'm not taking that away from them. It's just a little early for me to be saying Kurt Signetti is, along with Kirby Smart, one of 2 tier 1 coaches in the country. That seems crazy.
Could he cement his legacy this year if he gets his Hoover kid like over the top, and they get, like not necessarily win a title, but if they're like in the final, they're like very deep. They go a deep run and they lose in a competitive game.
I think that anything less than them making the final 8 is a disaster, right? So that's if I consider their floor to be making the playoff and winning a game, then I don't know how impressed I am with a Final 4 exit either. Like they have the talent, and they
It seems
have
like an
the
impossible standard you're setting. No, like I mean, this is a pretty good run he has, and he's an entertaining fellow. It is remarkable.
perfectly good run. He's not that entertaining. He's just a cranky old man.
That's entertaining. By the way, like if there was like a quiz on the new head coaches, like I don't think I'd be able to. Aren't there like
It's
a
tough.
gazillion new coaches other than the Lane Kiffin? Everybody knows that, but like Florida's got a new coach, Kentucky's got a new coach, Michigan's got a new
Yep.
coach, Virginia Tech's got a new coach, Penn State. Like there are just so many schools now that have some new coach. I wonder if any of them are gonna pop like Signetti.
Well, Kirby is the longest tenured football coach in the SEC, entering his 11th season. Pop quiz, hotshot. Who is the second longest tenured coach in the
my
SEC?
God. That's a good question. They got rid of the Kentucky Stoops guy. No, I could not
Heupel?
guess.
Is it Josh Heupel?
Josh Heupel is tied for 3rd, along with Shan Beamer and Clark
Okay.
Lee.
Is Dabo Sweeney?
And that's not SEC.
That's not
I'm
the
sorry,
SEC. How
conference.
dare
I'm
you.
sorry.
That's
Okay,
disgusting.
I thought this was
They
overall.
feel SEC. I agree. They feel SEC.
The answer is
Shut up. I want to guess. It's not Florida.
no.
It's not Alabama. It's not Kentucky. It's not Arkansas. It's not Texas.
It's great radio.
You can cut this out. It's not radio. It's a podcast. Eli Drinkwitz.
That is correct. Mizzou's coach in his 7th, I
Wow.
believe, 7th year.
Look at that. I would not have guessed that.
All right. That wraps up the WGAS News Sports Bag, Who Gives a Shit News Sports Edition. It's now time for the sports adjacent question of the week. Quickly, touching on a conversation I just had with my son, Abe. If my son gets into the Georgia Institute of Technology, Georgia Tech, and wants to study engineering or math, something that Georgia Tech specializes in, that, yeah, you go get a decent education anywhere else. But, hey, Georgia Tech is it must be said, despite my disdain for their athletic department, a world-class academic institution.
I think it was the Wall Street Journal or some other publication said that it's the best bang for your buck as far as engineering schools go, even better than like MIT and the like.
That's because MIT wants to charge you $100,000
Because
dollars
it's
a year
a state
or something.
university.
But
It's not your best bang for
Right.
your buck out of
But
state.
it's a good school. Every person that went to Tech is
That's
like
enough.
doing great.
That's enough out of you.
Unrelated. I'm going
Anyway,
to
is there any reason to, if you are the child of an alum from one school, can you go to the hated rival of your parents' school? And like, what do I do? Do I then have to get some Yek gear?
Oh, no.
If do I have to put a bumper sticker on my car?
You go
in 5
and
years?
wear Georgia gear.
Yeah. That's exactly what I told him. So, further question, Could he, in good conscience, join their marching band? See, now it's
he's
hard.
going to be he's a good French horn and trumpet player.
That is true.
And he will hope, like if he went to JMU or something, I would expect him.
No. What if Calvin is going to college?
Right.
He is going to be in a marching band.
Right.
Or he's not going to a 4-year college until he's well past 20.
Right. So
Like I'm not sending him to a little playland.
if he goes to Tech, also it's going to be easier to get on the marching band at Tech than I think it would be at Georgia, just because I assume that their standards are lower.
He's not going to a 4-year college out of high school unless he's on a marching band.
It is almost.
He needs the structure.
I don't know much about the marching band, but it seems impossible to do that dispassionately. Like you would have to be into it, right? So his fondness for Georgia will disappear in short time.
But it would. He would go to Athens
will.
twice in that 4-year period,
wearing the enemy colors. You think it'd be like, hey guys,
in the Tech gear, like
Unless he's sick that day. He might be sick that day.
Like I seriously don't know.
Kid's going to JMU. Stop pretending, everyone.
Isn't JMU an expensive school?
No.
No,
I don't think so.
Oh,
It's in state. It's in. All that
Okay.
matters is that it's
That's
an
true.
hour from here.
Right.
Like it wouldn't be there. There wouldn't even be any conversation. Like if you went to Virginia Tech or something, like okay, that's
Yeah.
fine. You can
Georgia
join their
fan.
marching band and be a Georgia fan and go to those games
Right.
and it would be fine. But like if he gets into Georgia Tech and like somebody's footing the bill for it,
Right.
I can't in good conscience say no. You shouldn't go get a degree from the Georgia from Georgia Tech.
The difference, I think, I'd be more fine with that than another SEC
Right. If
school.
like a Gator, Dad, look at me. I'm doing the
No, don't have, no.
Okay,
Ugh, ugh, that felt gross.
it better be a full ride if he's going.
No. Nothing is free in this life, especially that. But like, he could go to Tech.
He comes
and
home.
be an
He comes home for
obnoxious Georgia
Thanksgiving. He's
fan.
like,
Right.
"You guys told me so many terrible lies about Tim Tebow growing up.
That's right. No.
He was a great man. Did you know he used to circumcise little Filipinos on mission trips?
That's propaganda. That's not
never.
true.
All right, it's now time for the best game in every time slot.
That's an easy one
It
this
is a
week.
very easy week to determine the best game in every time slot because there's only one really in every time
That
slot.
is true.
At noon on ESPN, you've just watched Pat McAfee do a couple of Irish car bombs, no doubt.
Are they in Ireland for the like? I mean,
They have been in the past. I haven't
They
double
always
checked
are.
to confirm,
Why
but they
wouldn't they be?
usually go. North Carolina didn't North Carolina have a game in week 0 of consequence last year also?
Not
or am
last year. No, they played TCU last year in week 1, I think, in Atlanta.
Okay.
Well, North Carolina plus 7.5 against TCU in
Last
Dublin,
year.
Ireland.
The Ireland game was Kansas State and someone else.
Should be entertaining.
Arizona?
You know, they got there was some upheaval at North Carolina, right? The Lombardi guy got kicked out for some personal matter. They didn't really go into it. I think Belichick's kid, is maybe nothing came of that. Like last year, UNC had.
Well, Belichick's kid he's the defensive coordinator, I believe, right? Or
He's like I think he's got a
Something like that.
coordinator post. I don't know which side of the ball, but like
Yeah.
he's at that role. But like last year, if you just discard it, it's like a mulligan year for Belichick, just an awful year. And now he's in Ireland. Maybe he rights the ship and he opens strong,
With all the great players that they got?
But no, he can inspire them, like he's too good of a coach to have another dud of a season, right? So I'm thinking a close loss.
Well, the apologists have said that their defense actually came into shape as the year went on last year. I mean, if he can keep the girlfriend in check from doing silly stuff on the internet, and they came in with this very arrogant
Right.
understanding that they were going to show up, and what was the what was the phrase that they used?
The
We're going to be the
33rd
33rd NFL
yeah,
franchise
yeah.
or something.
Yeah, so they ate
Which
all that
is-
humble pie. Yeah, what a ridiculous thing to say in any event. Like, you're coming to a mid-tier program. You're not coming, right? Like, North Carolina was, with Mac Brown, was decent, but they weren't like, the top tier of the ACC or anything. So
They were a great basketball school
Right.
with a perfectly decent football program that seemed to underachieve, all things considered. But Mac Brown had a perfectly fine tenure there.
right.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't expect.
But
I honestly didn't expect Belichick to survive year one.
That's true. Yeah.
He has overstayed what I thought would be his expected tenure at North Carolina already. I will be surprised if he's still if he coaches to say that he would coach in a bowl game suggests that they might get to a bowl game. I haven't really looked at their schedule very much, but
Would that be
I will be surprised if he's still coaching by Thanksgiving.
What does success look like? A bowl game? Like, at this point? Like, if
I think 8 wins is a successful
Right.
year for North Carolina. We don't have shit else to do. Let's look at their schedule this year. They've got TCU, then they've got East Tennessee State.
Oh, that's a win.
Yeah, they've got Clemson,
That's a loss.
Notre Dame, Pitt, Duke, Syracuse, Miami, UConn, Louisville, UVA, and then they close with NC State. I think 6 wins is a successful year this year.
Yeah.
That's rough, man.
That is true. I mean, Clemson's
He
not
thought he
gonna be
could waltz
particularly
into college football and win all the games.
good. Yeah,
That's not an easy schedule.
Yeah.
That's for
And
an ACC schedule. That's tough.
and it doesn't help that most of the teams here are, when they see North Carolina on their schedule, like, oh, that's a win.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to revise that down. I think that's a losing schedule for sure.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. If they get to 7 wins, 8 wins, that'd be a successful campaign, And then
Yeah, 7 or 8 wins on that schedule, based on what we know about North Carolina, is a great success.
Right. This is according to the ESPN Predictometer. This basically is a pick'em. 51.5% TCU, 48.5%.
So North Carolina plus 7.5 must be the play if this game is a pick 'em according to the Predictometer.
That's where I'm at. Yeah, we're gonna keep it close.
We'll get there. All right, 3:00 window over on NBC. San Jose State plus 38.5 points at number 14 USC. The reason that this is on the primary television at 3:00 rather than the other game that we'll be flipping on at 3:30
We won't be there.
is because USC is involved, and this feels like a put up or shut up year for Lincoln Riley, although they sort of always do when it comes to Lincoln Riley, and the result is generally shut up.
Right.
Is what happens with Lincoln Riley. Who's their quarterback this year? Are they
That's a good
bringing somebody
question.
back?
I don't know who their quarterback is.
USC.
Yeah,
It is someone good.
Jaden Mayava.
That's right. Yeah, Jaden Mayava. He's good.
Returned for the 2026 season after a standout 2025 campaign where he led the Big Ten in passing and earned Big Ten preseason honors. All right, so they've got a shot. I was looking at their schedule the other day, and they should win a bunch of games. They've got this one, gimme against San Jose State, Fresno State, Louisiana, and not LSU, just Louisiana. They start conference play against Rutgers, and they've got Oregon, Washington, Penn State, Wisconsin, Ohio State, Indiana, Maryland, and UCLA to close it out. So they need 10 wins. They need to make the playoff. And I'm sure that he has this massive fucking buyout and is probably going to be difficult to get rid of.
Right.
But this is a guy that went to USC with the expectation that they were going to compete for the national title, and they really haven't done that to this point. So turn on that game to see if USC is any good. And they better cover nearly 40 points. All right, second TV in a game that should be more competitive that I believe we are going to be attending as it is right down the street.
We have to sort it out.
And I think we have free tickets coming our way. NC State plus 5.5 at the University of Virginia.
This was a game that was supposed to be played in Brazil.
Oh, okay.
So it was supposed to be a neutral site game in Brazil. And for some reason, the tickets weren't selling. So UVA, who can't fill its own fucking home stadium, shockingly couldn't fill a stadium however many miles away Rio de Janeiro is. So then they moved it to Charlottesville.
No kidding. So you think
Yeah, and it's still not selling out.
You would think just the novelty alone. I mean, how many college football games are there in Brazil? Like you think a bunch of looky-loos would just show up, just to see what it's like.
If it's anything like games here, tickets were too expensive
don't they
considering the product.
I think part of the reason that this wasn't happening is because we couldn't provide enough human beings from our end. All of the, like, you go and you watch the NFL in Mexico or NFL in England or whatever, and it's a bunch of locals that show up there. I think that when college football travels, it's a lot of college football people who are like going to take a vacation and fill up hotel rooms and spend a bunch of money on tickets.
Do you think that's what
and
it
I
is?
don't think that any of those packages
it's
were
part of
selling.
it.
So do you think like that's a lot of people plan their trip, their Ireland trip around like this game for the
Yes,
UNC?
I think so.
So think of it this way.
Yeah.
If Georgia was playing a game in Brazil, it would be 15 minutes and the Georgia side would be filled with Chris Howard and buddies
true,
and
yeah.
people who are like,
Yeah.
I'll go see a Georgia
That's
game
true,
in
yeah.
Brazil. Like, not
Yeah.
a question.
But
So UVA fans aren't like that.
but can't the UVA folks assess demand for their program?
Apparently not, because tickets, hold on. Let me just go see.
Do you think
they're like
and also
$60-some.
is
Hold
there
on.
you guys live there? Is there like a buzz among the like? Are people like,
Nope.
ooh, the season's right around the corner? I wonder.
Okay, so good news. I go to buy tickets for this football game, and it says not many left.
Oh.
So that's nice for them. There are plenty left. And when I look in the upper bowl, $75. Lower bowl, $99.
Wow.
ESPN has it as tickets as low as $30 at Scott Stadium in Charlottesville. So not a high demand. Buzz,
So the $30 tickets are in the end zone in the upper bowl.
I see.
to UVA's credit, it was fun by the middle, like after that FSU game that we attended, and like
That was like a ridiculously good game, though, wasn't it? The last guy,
there was some buzz. It was fun. They were winning games,
Empty upper bowl.
and they're spending money, right? Like they have spent money on players, and what's remarkable to me is that, and this is slightly impolitic to talk about probably, Tony Elliott only still has this job because 3 of his players were murdered on a bus. Like there's a really
I don't know
good
about
shot.
that.
Forgive the phrasing there, that he wouldn't have this job anymore, but for the fact that there was this awful tragedy, and like that, it would have felt it made it incredibly difficult to get rid of Tony Elliott
Also,
in the wake
though,
of that tragedy.
without the awful tragedy and the NIL coming at that exact same time, who knows what the next year would have looked like?
I'm just saying.
How
you
long
don't
ago
know.
was that, by the way? 2 seasons ago?
No, it was like 3 years ago. It was really bad.
I can't imagine that that's still factoring in.
No,
not still.
I'm saying he got a reprieve and has made the most. And to his credit, it's been a very relatively successful last season and a half or so.
Gotcha.
But like, I don't think that he still has this job. If that tragedy doesn't happen, they would have unloaded him. And yeah, like I'm not saying that he took advantage of it in any inappropriate way. It's just circumstance, I think, was going to dictate that he was gone, but for this.
But maybe not.
And yeah, he's made it work here. And you know what? If he'd been gone, maybe we could have won a city championship in Little League instead of his kids being awesome at Little League baseball.
Yeah. So the point is, if UVA really wanted to sell out this stadium, they could have. At first, they were selling tickets for $25.
Right.
Sell out Scott was the campaign. And then that ended. And then just this week, we were offered free tickets through the public schools, which was very neat.
Yeah.
But they are gone. Now they're gone. So now if I want to go, if I want to fill a seat that is a ticket that has not already been purchased, I have to pay $75 per person.
That's ridiculous.
Which I'm not going
Right.
to do. I'll go for free. I'll go for $25.
Yeah.
I don't know that I would. It's going to be sunny.
But at least
that's me.
a choice to make. I mean, 75 is ridiculous.
Yeah, and that's for one person. I have 4 people in
That's
this
true.
family.
All right. At 7 o'clock on the ACC network, you can turn on Hawaii +4 at Stanford. That feels like the wrong time to me. I feel like this should be a 10 o'clock game. I think they're doing
There's a
this wrong.
different 10 o'clock game.
I know there's a different 10 o'clock game, but if I want to watch Hawaii at Stanford, I want to be borderline uncomfortably drunk and paying attention to my phone more than the game. Don't give me a primetime 7 o'clock Hawaii Stanford game. And then 10 o'clock, last game of the night, Memphis +4.5 at UNLV. And by that same token, though, I must say, if I'm going to watch a game that I'm going to make an irresponsible last-minute wager on, I want it to be the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, late at night to try to make up for the money that I've lost throughout the day so far. So maybe the schedule makers have it right. 10 o'clock on Fox, Memphis at UNLV.
A client of mine last week was like, "Do you have anything fun coming up?" And I was like, "No. Actually, every Saturday for the next 3 months is what I have." Like, yes, we're in the best time of year, but you don't want to hear about that. That's not what you're asking me.
Do you think? I mean, this is not a deep slate. This first week or this 0 week. Although the app is not saying week 1. Do you think they're going to slowly start to pad it? Like,
wait. Go look at your app again. It says week 1, but that includes
week 1 includes week 0.
all of the next week's games.
You're right.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Week 1 includes the week before.
Gotcha. So
it's
this
a
is
really long week.
Very long week. Okay. So I wonder, like, if they're going to start to, they're like, oh, I mean, people are, they've gone without football all this time. A much better game at the 3 o'clock window or at the 7 o'clock window could be had. Like, so maybe in the future, other programs will want to.
Next year they're already starting early. Week 0 is week 1 next year.
Okay. So this is the last year of this soft launch kind of thing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean, it'll still be soft.
It's a fair point. Like, if you had Ohio State, Texas this week or something, like, then 15 million people would watch it. Like, why not?
Do you think, because, college football does not have a preseason, you don't have, like, a ramp-up, so, like, sometimes it behooves to kind of work your way up, because wasn't last year the opening week game, Arch Manning and was it Ohio State, Texas? Was that week 1? Yeah, and then it was very sloppy by Texas. They kind of found their footing later on, but, like, the marquee games, it's good to start the second week of play. Get teams in there.
Well, don't worry. There's no good games until week 3 or so. So you've got they're listening, Abe. The ramp up is real. It's now time. This would be the time normally where we would do the 2026 CIB football pick'em contest. I'll go ahead and give picks, but we're going to call this week 0 for this as well, just because we're slowly work our way in.
Yeah.
I don't expect to hear from cousin Steve. Maybe he can send me picks if he wants, but there will be non-contest picks this week, just to give us a feel for things, give us an idea. Remind everybody of the way the scoring system works. You bet 5 games every week. You just choose 5 games that you're betting, and you can choose from the entire college football and NFL football slate. You are not limited by any of that. And you're picking games against the spread. You tend to use FanDuel, but if you give me a reasonable line that you got off of DraftKings or ESPN or something, I buy it, right? I accept whatever line you came up with within reason, largely. And then there's different ways of scoring here. If you pick a game successfully against the spread, you get 5 points for that.
Right.
If you choose the favorite to win outright, and that happens, then you get 2 points for that, right? So, it's, for example, this week we've got North Carolina +7.5 points against TCU. If you just pick TCU outright and TCU wins the game, you get only 2 points.
Right.
But if you pick TCU minus the 7.5 points and they cover, then you get 5 points. Same token, if you pick UNC taking the 7.5 points, then you also get 5 points. However, if you pick UNC just to win as the underdog without benefit of the points, you will get 10 points for selecting that game correctly. And if you take a double-digit underdog as the favorite without benefit of the points. So, for example, this week we have Sacramento State is plus 10 at Eastern Michigan. If you were to take Sacramento State straight up and they won, then you get 20 points for that selection, which is the most number of points that you can get for any single game.
Did we have any 20-pointers last year? I know I did not, but maybe you had a week or two that was good. Did you ever?
I think I had one 20-pointer last year. I think we've had a couple through the years, through the first 2 years of this game. But I think that generally speaking, my best, I've had a couple of 50-point weeks, I think, in the last 2 years where I picked 5 underdogs to win outright, and I got it right. Last year, I know I had one. And what I would like to do is I like to throw a parlay onto my gambling app to match the choices that I've made in the CIB Pick'em contest. And the week that I went 5 for 5, I failed to do that last year. I will not make that mistake again. So those are the parameters. I am the returning champion. I believe I'm twice defending.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, you care most.
Didn't I?
By
I think
far.
did I win year one also?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't win any of the years, so it's got to be you.
I did. I think I'm twice defending here. So, anyway, accepting all comers, by the way. This is not just me and Abe and some AI that is going to make picks for Lori and Cousin Steve. Anybody else who wants to get weekly picks in, I'm happy to record them, and you can play along as well.
There will be no three-peat, Bob.
Yeah. I've won the fabulous prize 2 years in a row. Anybody else? Asterisk. Prize is not fabulous. Anyway, so quickly, let's just make our picks in all of the games this week, just for fun. North Carolina against TCU. Abe, who you got?
I think this is Belichick's last stand this season. So either it just goes out in flames, or he has a decent year. I'm going to say he's going to have a more competitive team. They're likely to lose this game, but they'll keep it close. So I got UNC plus 7.5.
All right, I'm on the other side. I think TCU runs away with this one by 2 scores. San Jose State plus 38.5 at number 14 USC. Who you got?
In this in the points breakdown. So if somebody just picked USC to win outright, I mean that's a guaranteed 2 points, right?
Oh yeah,
but it's just
who wants 2 points? You gotta get on the board and get a lead. You don't want to just. How many NBA players do you see taking 2-pointers these days?
That is a good point.
There's a 5 available to you. You take the shot.
I don't know if I've hit too many of these near 40-point spreads in the past. So I'm always leery of them. So I'm gonna assume I know nothing about San Jose State University, but I'm gonna assume they're gonna be able to cover 38.5. So I'm going there.
The thing that's remarkable to me is that this will be within 3 points of that number.
Yeah, right. Yes, exactly.
Right? How the fuck? And I legitimately, I know it's all just math and algorithms,
right.
and handicapping is this. It's a science more than it is an art, certainly. But it never ceases to amaze me. But that number will come in within a couple of points of 38.5, and it's infuriating on top of being remarkable.
More evidence that it's we live in a simulation.
Yeah, I'll take USC minus the 38.5. I think they have to make a statement, and Lincoln wants to make a statement, and his offenses are always real good. So let's see what happens. NC State plus 5.5 down the street here against Virginia. What do you think happens?
So I think because of the weak demand, I think this Brazil experience that I just found out a second ago from Lori has hurt the self-esteem of the Virginia football team. So I think the Wolfpack will come in and beat them outright. I got NC State.
All right, and I got UVA minus the 5.5 points. Jacksonville State plus 7 at North Dakota State. And you have to pick this game because I put it on the list. So.
I'm going to go with North Dakota State for no reason.
All right, I'm taking Jacksonville State for no reason. Outright winners for the 10 points. Sacramento State plus 10 at Eastern Michigan.
I did not know Sac State had a team, so I'm sure they'll be able to cover the 10 points. Is Eastern Michigan any good?
Sac State's going to shock the world and win outright and get me
This
20
is a
fake
20-pointer.
points here.
I guess, that's a perfect opportunity for a 20-pointer. First of all, it doesn't count. And second of all, that's possible. Who's Eastern Michigan? Like, I don't know anybody that goes there.
Is that the Chippewas? Is that
Central Michigan.
Central
Chippewas.
is the Chippewas? Was Eastern Michigan? Do we know?
Not that. Lumberjacks or something.
Pop quiz, hot shot.
Eastern Michigan. Chanticleers, is that them?
Eagles.
Eagles.
It's a bottom feeder Michigan school. Nobody pays attention to them.
All right, Hawaii +4 at Stanford.
Stanford.
Yeah, me too. Stanford -4. New Mexico State +30.5 against Florida State. Florida State, interesting situation, right? Norvell is still around, right?
Right.
Yeah, but it's like depressing for everyone.
You know what's weird? If Florida
Why
State,
aren't our kids saying goodnight to us?
I'm watching the Braves.
Florida State usually fields a good recruiting class, but they don't seem to like. Are they even competitive in the ACC? It's probably like
No.
Miami and everybody else is falling further behind.
So they have a 2026 over/under wins total of 6.5. They are this week, like we said, they're hosting New Mexico State, which they should win easily. Then they have SMU, Alabama, Central Arkansas, Central AR. What is Central AR? Then they have Virginia, Louisville, Miami, Clemson, Boston College, Pittsburgh, NC State, and Florida. I don't know that they get to 6.5 wins. They would have to have. I mean, they had a disastrous campaign the last couple of years, right?
Yeah, after that 1 year where they were kept out because of that injury.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to bet the under on FSU. I'm going to pull my app up here when we're done. Take the under. All right, Memphis +4.5 at UNLV.
I'm going with UNLV.
And I'll take Memphis. Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Traditionally, and in the future, this would be the spot in the show where we go live to Plains Heaven and hear.
I don't have to do this.
What's that?
I have all the picks.
No, you don't have to do it.
I was asking the robot this whole time. Do I not have to all year?
No, you have to all year, but not this week because this is a fake one anyway.
Did the robot pick any upsets?
No, I don't think so. I don't know how that works.
Normally, we would have just heard from Lori and Cousin Steve and whoever else wants to give us their picks. And then we would go live to Plains Heaven and hear from former President of the United States, Jimmy Carter. Now, I'm going to level with you people. There has been an interruption between my high-speed internet connection here on Earth and where Jimmy is in heaven. If you want to look under the hood, you might even say that the website that I use to communicate with this particular individual no longer is functional, which I'm efforting solutions. So I hope that by the time we get to week 1 next week, I will have reestablished a connection with Jimmy Carter in heaven. And hopefully it'll be a clearer signal than ever before. But to this point, I have not been able to figure out how to get Jimmy Carter back on the line. But we're going to make it happen one way or another. Even if it's just me having to read Jimmy, like if I could just get him to email me the text of the pick and then I do it in my best Jimmy Carter accent, maybe that's what we have to do.
No.
That will make Lori's.
No.
It will make Lori's year because she
no.
loves when I do voices.
No, I like when you do one voice.
Which one?
Spurrier.
Elderly black male. I think
Just
you like when I do
Steve
my
Spurrier.
when I do my
No.
best like James Earl Jones.
No, I like when you do Steve Spurrier.
All right. Well, we will hear from Jimmy moving forward, and that's how we wrap up every show during the college football season, is with hearing from Jimmy. So hopefully we get that going by next week. But in the meantime, you've been listening to Cast Iron Balls, a podcast about sports with Bob and Abe. You can find the show on Substack, brainiron.substack.com for more from us, including the flagship Cast Iron Brains news and culture podcast and our Substack-only music podcast coming back soon to Substack near you. The opening and closing themes of the show were composed by Mark Gillig, tetramermusic.com, Tetramer music.com. For more from Mark. Abe, I don't know if you remember this part of the show, but what else in the world of sport caught your eye this week?
So I don't follow professional women's soccer, but there's this story that just came
like
out.
You might.
There's this soccer player, Esther Gonzalez. The soccer player, she convinces her team, Gotham FC in the States, to let her out of her contract. She makes some argument about family issues, and she's going to possibly retire, so she wants to be let out of the contract. So the team acquiesced.
All right, I got to pause for a second. You said you don't follow women's professional soccer
that's
or something
correct.
along those lines at the start. I believe you. The first line in this story from outsports.com is soccer superstar Esther Gonzalez. Now, the words matter and words mean something, but soccer superstar.
Apparently, she won a
In
world.
the soccer
I can think
world.
of like 3 actual soccer. I know I don't pay any attention to soccer, but like Esther Gonzalez sounds like somebody that Trump has deported recently, not like a soccer superstar.
I mean, she also won a World Cup, apparently. I don't know for which team, probably Spain. But in any event, she feigns retirement, and she's let out of a contract, and out of nowhere, she reappears and signs with this Saudi Arabian team. It sounds like Al-Qaeda, but it's not. But she's a lesbian woman. She's married to another woman, and she's going to theocratic Saudi Arabia, and a lot.
Oh, she's gay.
Yeah.
So it's not just that, like, it's not cool to be gay in Saudi Arabia, but
she's married.
she herself is gay.
Yeah, she's married with another woman.
She's not there.
And so a lot of people are giving her a flack. Like, how can you go to repressive Saudi Arabia? How can you basically be dishonest with your club team to get out of the contract, pretending you wanted out for some other reason, and then now you reappear? My question, though, is can't everybody have the equal right to be shitty? You know, like, because if they were a straight woman, maybe they would get some flack, like, hey, what are you doing going to Saudi Arabia? But like Ronaldo and others have taken Saudi Arabian money, right? Like the golfers with the Live experiment that did not last. But I guess in this case, because she herself is, like, she would be like stoned to death or whatever over there. They're like, why are you?
Well,
doing
but she won't be.
She
right?
She just won't be gay there.
Yeah, they're gonna have a carve out for her, but like
They won't. She just won't be gay there.
yeah, I guess she won't like flaunt her gayness.
What is the
She's just
average
not
soccer
gay there.
What is the average soccer superstar who plays for New York's Gotham FC make
Probably
in
like a
calendar year?
librarian salary. I don't know, like $75,000. I don't know.
Yeah, like $70,000 to $120,000 a year or something. Like, I bet you that they're offering to pay her like $3 or $4 million a year.
Right. And you don't. I guess you don't choose where the sport is hot. You remember that basketball player? Remember when she got caught in Russia? Like, Russia had a pretty, I guess, robust enough of a league to where they were making more money there than they were in the WNBA. And so, like, if they're making, I don't know, if it went from 75 and it was tenfold, you got like $750,000, and they pay for room and board. Would you look the other way morally and just take the money and, you know, play for a couple of years and then head back to Spain? Or, I don't know. It just seems like,
I mean, what would I do?
yeah, if you're like a gay Bob, you know, like, would you go to Saudi Arabia and take the money?
I don't know. I have a pretty firm stance against Saudi Arabia generally.
Me too.
It seems, and you're from there.
Why would anyone go there? Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think that I can stand in judgment of her going and making what I assume to be, if not generational wealth, then certainly enough money to make her and her family comfortable for the rest, the remainder of her own life.
There's no way it's like a 10% bump, right? It's probably like a significant pay bump. Although I wonder, what does it look like to play soccer as a woman are they all burqa'd up or like?
Yeah, they're wearing their not burqas, but the head coverings.
Okay.
Wait, the national team, sure, but like as any woman playing
Well,
soccer,
I mean, you still have to be
you have to
somewhat-
wear the coverings.
Yes, you have to have your head covered.
But maybe it's like the burkini kind of thing, like it's like it's a body
They're wearing
hugging.
soccer stuff, and their head is covered.
Well, even if you're not Muslim, you think they will make her do it?
Yes.
So I went and looked it up, and Lori is spouting fake news here. These reforms were made a few years ago. Soccer players, women soccer players in Saudi Arabia, are permitted to play games without the traditional head coverings and other conservative Muslim garb.
Boy, I would write it in my contract like, hey, I'm already gay. Can I just have my hair out? Like, if you're gonna allow me being gay, why can't you just let me?
Give me 15 minutes with MBS, and we'll get the hair covering thing worked out. Like, what are we doing here?
That's right. Yeah, no way.
Although
for
for $5 million a year, that you making 20 times what you can make somewhere else, then maybe you wear the head covering.
I suspect that we'll let her
You wear the head covering because you're not allowed to go round without it.
So in the pro wrestling world has gone into Saudi Arabia, and they've held some events, and they make the women wear like body suits, but their hair is still allowed to be free. So,
but they're inside.
Yeah. I mean, they're inside.
There's a difference.
Yeah, maybe there's a different rule. But I just can't imagine she would accept that condition, right? There's no way.
Yeah.
But, good for her.
I didn't realize that the Saudis were still doing the sports washing thing.
I mean, I thought they were getting out of it, right? Because all the reports were coming out, like basically the gambit failed. Like they weren't, I mean, because Liv is basically folding.
I saw something recently about how that like 100 and I forget how many miles it is, but that MBS wanted to build a skyscraper that was like,
oh, that's right, that weird project,
100 miles long or something,
some goofy,
and
it
has largely failed. Apparently,
somebody said that the Saudi government got one of the big consulting groups, and this was their idea. This is how you make some inroads to the West with just throw your money everywhere. But it seemed like they did not get the return on investment.
Yeah, that was that big the big golf thing sort of fell through also,
Liv
right?
fell apart, and like I think their PGA said like all the people that are getting let go, because I think they're doing a round of firings at Liv. They're like, you're not welcome back, which seems to be kind of cruel. Just hire the best available candidates.
Oh yeah, you're a big bygones guy.
Are you, Abe? You can't begrudge somebody for trying to make a little more money.
Not a spite guy at all. That Abe.
I got a very short memory. I don't remember unless you're Peyton Manning. Then.
Lori, anything else in the world of sport catch your eye this week?
I mean, I just sent it to you. If we're talking about people being shitty, LSU,
It's another LSU
shitty
story.
again.
Man, what is up with this?
I know.
LSU.
So that awful Kim Mulkey,
Oh, she's the worst.
when they already had a Ukrainian player, decided to sign a Russian player.
Oh no.
And now is mad that the Ukrainian is like, yeah, I'm not
Are you
gonna
kidding
play
me?
for you anymore.
Did she not? I know these sports coaches are like, 20 hours in the office and they don't pay attention to the world, but they have to have known that there's a war going on.
No, I'm sure she knew. And she said, well, tough shit for you. This one's really good.
Kate came to see me on Sunday. This is from Kim Mulkey's Instagram. Kate came to see me on Sunday, which is the player who's leaving, and told me that after much consideration, she will be leaving the program for personal reasons. The personal reasons, which are not mentioned in this statement, are that I brought in a Russian, which is a country that has been at war with her country.
Actively invading and bombing.
That's wild.
Why? Part of it is that I don't care for the sport of basketball all that much, like in terms of watching it. So that my only interaction with basketball is like reading an article about how like Enes Kanter went to a WNBA game and got into a fight with somebody about trans rights or something.
Yeah.
I don't even fully know what's going on.
He
there.
had like a shirt with like the definition of woman, and he was kind of jawing with a player, and now he's like banned from that arena. And
This is wholly in the realm of the theoretical, by the way, correct? Because there are zero trans individuals who play in the WNBA.
Right.
but they apparently there's some language in the collective bargaining agreement or something somewhere which suggests that there might be an avenue for a trans individual to eventually matriculate into the WNBA. And so Enes Kanter is like, I declare myself a woman.
That's right, yeah. And it didn't really go far. You're not getting a lot of like positive stories out of the WNBA lately. It's either like some dildo on the court, or some sort of like a racial animus, or some dude goobers trying to milk a story.
Yeah, somehow they're turning Caitlin Clark into a point of racial issue, right?
Yeah,
because
she's like a flashpoint for race, because basically,
she must not actually be that good. Right. The only reason that she's popular is because she's white or something along those lines. Right,
which is kind of a ridiculous one. But yeah, and then like on the other side, there are people who have taken up her cause just on that issue alone. They don't actually care about the league. So this LSU player, the Ukrainian, her father is a drone operator. So this is like.
But the thing is, all men in Ukraine are in the military right now, because the way they do it there, they don't take little kids. They don't take 18-year-olds.
Okay.
Because their population is small, so they want you when you're of childbearing age to not go die in war. So they make. I think it's when you're 35 or something.
What if you're like 43? Do they?
So they're all at war.
Oh, okay. Why?
Every single man, unless there's something wrong with them, that has kids, is off at war right now.
It's the thing that like, and it's. I understand it from the Ukrainian perspective. Obviously, it's all terrible, and they are the victims of this. But the extent to which a generation of Russian men have just been fed into a meat grinder for no good reason is...
Well, that's Ukraine's fault, Bob.
Yeah, it's obviously it is one of the great crimes of the 21st century, what Putin has done here. But truly, and I don't say this to diminish the suffering of the Ukrainian people at all, the biggest victim of it is the Russian people. That is who is going to suffer the effects of this on the longer term. From a national sort of identity standpoint, on top of all of the rest of it, in terms of the actual attrition of human life.
Right. It seems like from a distance, like the well-off Russians are not impacted by the war.
They're fine.
Right? Like the
oligarchs are fine.
Right. And that's why probably they're like, well, why are these? Because it's not just in this incident. Every time there's been like a Ukrainian athlete and a Russian athlete, the Ukrainian would not want no part. So I wonder, like, if the Russian athlete, they come from like well-to-do families, and they're like, well, what's the big deal? Like,
well, and they have state-run media,
right.
So they are 100% sure that this is a Ukraine-caused problem.
Right. And they're like, I'm willing to overlook it. Why are you upset? Like, it's your fault. Like, it's like, that's probably what they're thinking. But I don't understand. There can't be like such a need for a Russian player to put yourself over the top to this level, to where these two players need to be at the same program in Baton Rouge.
If Kim Mulkey doesn't recruit her, then whoever's at Tennessee is going to, right? And if Tennessee doesn't recruit her, then whoever's at UConn is going to. It's a race to the bottom here in terms of the ethics, certainly.
My. What a mess.
All right. Abe, have you got anything else for us tonight?
Nope.
I guess that's all we've got for you tonight then, and we'll talk to you next time.
Later.
Are you making me pick games?
We'll get to that. I'm not. It'll be a dry run week. This will not count towards the official standings because the games
So I'm
are
not picking.
so bad.
You're gonna pull like a muscle if you don't get your reps in, Lori. This first
right.
week.
I'm not.
All you have to do is arbitrarily select the goddamn games and not make me do it for you live every fucking week.
But I don't want to do that.
Why? It's fun.
Because I don't think it's fun.
It doesn't matter what you think about whether or not it's fun.
No, it does. Because I don't want to do it.
Then find some other way to do it that is fun for you.
Just watch it. See what happens. That's what I think is fun.
You don't have to care about the outcome. That's what's fun.
I don't want to guess.
Just randomly choose.
It's not fun to randomly
and then
choose.
it's sort of fun to see how that compares with the big
All right,
brains.
I'll ask the robot.
Big brains on Bob and Abe trying to rack up points, and Lori's over here consulting with fucking Grok or what have you.
Yeah, I'll
Could-
ask.
could
I'll
you
ask
create-
ChatGPT.
Could you create like a degenerate Lori gambler, and then
Yes,
it'll
I'm
just
sure
follow
you
you the
could.
whole
Like
year?
a Claude agent?
Yeah, and just follows you the whole year. And
I will do that.
No, I'll do it.
I will program a Claude agent to make Lori's picks every week.
No, I'll do it right now, but not Claude. ChatGPT.
when us mortals fuck up, the following week, we eat this shit, oh yeah, big swing at that pick and I got it wrong. But these robots never feel any shame. They're like, what are you going to do? I was wrong about
For entertainment purposes only. Are you not entertained?
The proceeding was created with 100% human content.